Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I am going to be doing a full face of Makeup Revolution products. I'm so excited because I love this brand. I have some like holy grails from this brand, and then I've been trying some like new stuff, and then I thought, well, let me just buy some other things and like round it out and just do a full video of just Makeup Revolution products. So some of this stuff is going to be like first impressions, some of this is more like review style, and then some of these products are like all-time favorites of mine. So I thought it would just be fun because this brand is huge, right? Like it's international, and also like they just have so many products. Like there's just so much variety in the brand, and they are sold at Ulta over here in the States, and so they're pretty easily like available. And I am just excited to share kind of my thoughts on all of these products with you guys. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the face today, and the first thing I want to show you guys is this Onyx Primer. So this is a new product from them. It's a new product to me, and it's a blurring and mattifying black gel primer. So it is a black primer. It comes in like a little dropper. To be honest with you, this probably isn't like my favorite thing of all time. I think it's good. Like it's definitely mattifying, but I don't really think it's blurring as much as I would really like it to be. But it's also not like super mattifying in the sense that it's like dry. I know I look so good right now. So it does make your skin kind of like a different color at first, like when you're like rubbing it in, but it will eventually, like, I mean, you don't see the color anymore underneath the foundation and everything. So I don't really know why it's like a black primer. Like I guess I should have read about that, like what the black color does to your skin, but I don't know. Alright, now for foundation, I'm going to be using one of my like all-time favorites, Holy Grail foundations, and it's the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I do wear the shade F6, and it's a really good shade match for me. I traveled a couple weeks ago, and this was the only foundation that I bought, or brought, I should say, not bought, and I feel like that's when you really know that it's like a good product and like you love it, is like when you travel and this is the only thing that you bring and you're totally happy with it. So I do use quite a bit just because I have a lot to cover, and I use it with a sponge. So I'm just kind of spreading it all out with a doe foot. I like this foundation with a brush or with a sponge, either one. The coverage, the finish is just beautiful. So another thing I really love about this foundation is that it is buildable, and so I have a lot of discoloration and like acne stuff going on my cheeks. So I do like to just kind of hit it with a little bit more foundation. Okay, so the foundation is done, and as you can see, I mean, it just covers everything so well, and it just wears so well throughout the day. I'm so excited. I love this foundation so much, and it doesn't look cakey. Like I had to layer it up, you know, right here, and it doesn't look like I have a lot of like super thick foundation on. So now for concealer, we're gonna go in with the Conceal and Define Concealer. So this shade is a little too light for me. It's C1, so it's more of like a brightening shade. But I really do enjoy this concealer. I feel like it has a lot of really great coverage, but it's not as drying as like a Tarte Shape Tape or other concealers that I have used. So I like to just kind of put it like right here, kind of just where I'm like the darkest, and then I just blend it out from there. Now to set the concealer, I'm going to go in with my Bake and Blot Pressed Powder in the shade Translucent. I love this stuff. I've talked about it a lot recently on my channel. It's just like a really beautiful, like soft powder. And I'm just going to hit the under eyes. I mean, I'm not like super like sculpted or anything, you know, as far as like with that concealer. It's not like, whoa, like really contour highlight, you know, kind of look. That's just not the vibe that I tend to go for a lot or like. And then I am just going to take that powder as well and just kind of like set the T-zone area. This foundation doesn't really require a whole lot of setting, but I do like to at least set the areas that I know will wear off. Alright, so now I'm looking a little sickly. So let's go ahead and bronze up this skin. So I'm going to take the Vivid Baked Bronzer in the shade Ready to Go. This is a beautiful red toned bronzer, and I love a good red toned bronzer because when I do get tan, I get that like red undertone in my skin. I usually get like a little pinky, and I think it's because I tend to like burn first and then I'll tan after. So I think that kind of probably plays a part in it, but I think this looks really natural on my skin tone just because of that undertone of it. It's really like a nice warm reddish, not so yellowy like. Okay, so for blush we are going to use one of my favorite products ever, and it is their blush compact in Opulescent. So it looks like this. You get 4 different kind of like pinky tones, and then you get a highlight shade in here. You guys, this is like the most beautiful, like fresh blush ever. So I'm actually not really going to try to get the highlight in here because I want to use another highlight and show you guys. So I'm just going to like kind of take my brush and these two over here, like this pink and then this one. And it's super pigmented, so knock that brush off. And then I just use a really light hand. So pretty. Like, how gorgeous is that? I'm obsessed. I love this blush so stinking much. That you cannot find at Ulta. You only can find on their website. So just a heads up on that. Now for highlight, I'm going to actually use their liquid highlighter in Luminous Gold. I love this. And yes, I know I've already powdered, but you can put this liquid on top of a powder and it doesn't look crazy. So I'm all about that. What I like to do is just kind of take some on the back of my hand. It does not take a lot of it. And I just kind of like swirl it around, kind of like thin it out a little bit. I mean, that is stunning. It's just like a very like light formula. And then I will take the side of my sponge that doesn't have foundation or concealer on it and just kind of tap into it. And then I'll just tap that on the top of my cheeks. So pretty. I feel like this helps, like the sponge helps make it look a little bit more natural. I mean, you can build this highlighter up to be like intense and in your face, but I don't really want that vibe today. So I am actually going to use a teensy bit more, but I don't really want like it to be super intense today. I like a more like natural kind of vibe today because I am going to work after this, so I don't want to look too crazy. And like I'm going to the club, which I've never gone to a club in my life, but if, you know, I ever did, I guess I would wear a lot of highlight. I don't know. I just love the way that highlighter applies and sits on top of the skin. I just think it looks really just beautiful and naturally glowy. And then for brows, I actually bought the Brow Definer. So it's their pencil that's like a teardrop shape. So it's not just like a flat slant. It has a little curve at the end. And then it does come with a spoolie as well. I believe I got the shade, yeah, I got the shade light brown. So I've never tried this. So this is going to be a first impressions on this thing. Nice consistency. It's not too creamy. I was kind of nervous at first. Okay, so it's definitely a little warmer than I typically go, and it's interesting because it's not warm in the sense it's like red. I would say it's warm in the sense it's like golden, like it's got some like yellowish kind of tones to it. So not my favorite tone, but the consistency of this pencil is actually pretty good. So for primer on the eyes, we are going to use the Prime and Lock eyeshadow base. I really like this stuff. A lot comes out on the doe foot, so all I do is like one dot, and that will be more than enough for each eye. Alright, now for eyeshadow palettes, we have a couple different options here. So I pulled out all 3 of my reloaded palettes that I have. I have Neutrals 3, which is one of my favorites. It's beautiful. I have Division, which is gorgeous, and then I also have Visionary, which is more purple. But then I also pulled out my Emily Edit The Once palette, which this palette is so gorgeous. But I've done a lot of videos with this, so I'm like, ooh, I shouldn't use it. But to be honest with you, I kind of might like mix and match some palettes today. You know, I don't really do that very often. I try to like keep it to just using one palette, but they're all Makeup Revolution, so who cares? I can do whatever I want, right? I don't know, I kind of might go in with like the Division palette and then dip into the Emily Edit as I need it. Because I don't know, I just feel like I do like warm looks a lot and I just kind of want to do something different. But this look will probably end up being a little bit more neutral and warm anyway, but that's okay. We're going to go start with this shade in the Division palette. It's a really nice just like transition shade. I do tap my brush. These shadows aren't like super powdery, but they are more powdery than not powdery. So just tap your brush, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, now I'm going to go in with this shade, which is like just diagonal from that one, and it's a little bit more like peachy toned. And we're just going to put that kind of a little bit lower, but it'll just add some nice like warmth and a little bit of depth to it, to the look. Alrighty, like I think that's really pretty so far. I don't really know like what kind of shimmer shade I want to do all over the lid. Like, do I want to do like gold or more of like a reddish kind of tone or like a bronze? Just not really sure. I might go in actually just with this one from the, ow, I just hit my face. I might go in with this one from the Division palette. It's right here. I just feel like I'm into it. I don't know. Maybe I won't use the Emily Edit palette at all because, again, I have used that in a lot of different videos. So I really do like to use these shimmers with a brush. Typically, I like to use shimmer shades with my finger, but I do feel like Makeup Revolution's formula is just, I don't know, it's like a little bit stiffer as far as the shimmers go, so it's a little bit better to use a brush, in my opinion. I just like the way they apply. That shade didn't actually come off as dark as I thought it was. So we are just going to take that all the way over on the lid. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to deepen up the outer corner just a hair. And I'm going to go in with this brown shade right here. It's like a kind of deepish, but like more warm brown. And I'm just going to hit the outer corner with that. And then take it slightly up into the crease, just to kind of blend out that shimmer and make it blend in with those transition shades that we already put down. For the lower lash line, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this deep warm brown again and just take that, and I'm just only going to push it on like the outer half. I'm not going to take it all the way in. And then I'm going to blend that out with the first shade that we went in with, just because I don't want it to be like super warm, and I feel like this isn't as, like, it's of course not like the peach shade that we used, which is obviously super warm. Okay, now to highlight the inner corner and the brow bone, I actually am going to go in with the Emily Edit palette because this palette does have a white shade in here, or what looks to be a white shade, but it's actually like a pinky duochrome, and I don't like the way that looks on my brow bone and inner corner. So I'm going to go in with Emily's palette, and I'm going to use, maybe if I can show you the actual palette, that might be helpful. I'm going to go in with the shade Oh Heavens, and I'm going to put that on my brow bone and my inner corner. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow, you guys. I really love the way it turned out. Now, before I go in with mascara, I actually do have an eyeliner that I could use from this brand. It's the Renaissance Flick Liquid Eyeliner. But to be honest with you, mine like doesn't stay shut for some reason, like the lid always like pops off. So I just think it's kind of like dried out. And I just am not a huge fan of this, to be honest with you, because it's just like, it's dry and I just don't really love it. So I think we're just going to skip the eyeliner today. See, like the lid just popped off again. I don't know. But before I even go in with the mascara, I do like to set my face so I don't get any like mascara like smudgies or smears or anything. So I went on to buy, I went on to Ulta's website to buy their oil control fixing spray because I love that stuff. But then I saw that they had this, the Sport Fix Extra Hold Makeup Fixing Spray, and I was like, ooh, I want to try that. Extra hold? Like, yes, please. And so it says, shake well before use, apply makeup as usual, hold the bottle 8 to 10 inches away from your face, and spray a light mist, making sure eyes are closed. Product will dry and set naturally. So we are going to shake it up. I really hope I don't get those white dots because I don't have time for that today. The mister is so light. That's why I was like spraying so much, because I was like, I need like to get it on my face, and it was just like such a fine mist. Like you definitely get some like visible droplets when you spray it, but I do feel like it's dry pretty well. Face feels a little like sticky or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, so for mascara, they do have the mascara is what it's called. It's called like just the mascara. And it's a big old tube. It is like chunky monkey. And then the brush looks like one of those like kind of hourglass brushes. It looks like it has a lot of product on the brush. So I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to curl the lashes and find out. I know that they do make a waterproof version of this, I think, but they only sell it on their website, and I was ordering off of Ulta. And I was like, well, if this one doesn't smudge or flake or anything throughout the day, well then I don't need to buy the waterproof anyway. So, man, there's a lot of product on this brush, you guys. But dang. That like was only a couple swipes and it was like, hello, like lashes are done. So we are going to see if we can build it up a little bit. I don't have to build it up a ton because my lashes already look like really voluminous and long, but I just want to see what it can do. Okay, so I will say that going in with a second coat does make them a little bit clumpy. I don't mind that. I like a kind of like a clumpy lash on myself. But if that's something that you don't like, you might not love this. I really do love the packaging. It's beautiful, and I kind of like how big it is. I don't know why. It's just like, well, that'll be easy to find every day. But like, you see what I mean? It's like a little clumpy, but I like it. Okay, and I know I said I wasn't going to go in with any product that wasn't Makeup Revolution, but I lied because I need to use this on my lower lashes because I do all the time. It's my Covergirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant. Alright, for lips, I grabbed one of their Renaissance lipsticks in the shade Prime. So these are only sold online. You can't find them in stores, I guess. But they look like really pretty in the packaging. It's like rose gold. And this shade is just a really pretty nude. Alright, you guys, so this is the final look, and I have to say, I am like obsessed with this. The lashes are crazy. I cannot wait to see how that mascara holds up. This lip color is gorgeous. It's like a beautiful, like pinky nude. Like in my mind, this is the best pinky nude lipstick. It's so creamy. It feels so good on the lips, and I love the way everything turned out. I hope you guys liked this video. I don't know. I just thought it was fun. I've done this with Maybelline before. I think it's fun just to kind of do a full face of just one brand so we can really see like what this brand can do. So I hope you liked it. Leave down in the comments below some of your favorite Makeup Revolution products. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!